Hello. Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Happy Monday. I hope everybody's doing really well today. Thank you so much for joining me. It is time for Intentionality, a show that is all about proving that there is a blueprint to the world, that everything under the sun, everything about this planet, every part of your body was divinely created. And better yet, there's proof. So this show is all about bringing that proof to you, about bridging the science with the spirituality, to show that the world is not all faith. You don't have to take it on faith that the world is divine and amazing. There's proof of it. So thank you so much for joining me again. We are nearing the end of season 2. And I want to thank all of you guys for joining me this season. It's been a phenomenal season. I wanted to give a shout out to my fellow veterans, first responders, and other survivors of traumatic events. So PTSD and depression are something that are very, very familiar. They're very near and dear to my heart. And they're something that I doubt any military people haven't wrestled with. There is a toll that you are asked to pay by serving something bigger than yourselves. When you are willing to put your family, your life, your livelihood, when you're willing to put everything on the line for the greater good, whether that's as a firefighter, a policeman, a medic, military, or any of the above, there is a price that we pay to serve. And that price is often our ability to have hope. We lose hope for the future. We give so much that we don't really know what we are anymore. We don't really know where to turn. It's a very isolating experience to give so much that you don't know who you are anymore. You don't have anything left to give. So with this time, with the quarantine, this is something my husband and I have been talking about a lot since both of us are former military, is the isolation that's happening right now, and the job layoffs and the fear of the financial and economic situation is incredibly taxing on people who are already mired in depression, who already feel that they had no hope for their future. So I sent out a message to all of my warriors. Everybody who has served a cause greater than themselves, anybody who has survived something traumatic, you not only have more to give, but you are divine. You are not in this alone. We're all in this together. And right now with this quarantine, with our stay-at-home policies, it's leveled the playing field for all of us. As scary as it is, as much as we worry about where our next meal is going to come from, what we're going to do about careers, you're not alone in any of this. None of us are alone. The big healing technique, the big secret to life is love. And it's not all about loving your neighbor. It's not all about loving the people that have hurt you and forgiving them. It's about loving yourself. Now, I have absolutely been in a place where I had no hope, where I honestly thought that death would be a really nice release. I've been in that place a couple of times, so I know how that feels. And I know that there's a cure for it. There's a way for you to pull yourself out of that, because only you can. Spirituality almost has a misconception about it, especially in the military world and a lot of the first responder worlds, because it's so masculine in those worlds. They think spirituality is all about being in touch with femininity, going out and hugging trees and eating vegan and wearing crystals. I like my crystals, I'm not going to lie, but that's not what spirituality is. Spirituality at its heart is knowing who and what you are, coming to terms with who you are, releasing the ego, healing from emotional trauma, moving to a place where you love yourself unconditionally. Now, can you imagine a world where you loved yourself unconditionally, where the pains of the past, of our mistakes, where all of that stuff didn't matter? Can you imagine a world where your past just didn't hurt you anymore? And you were so fucking excited for the future, excuse my language, that you can't wait for the next day. You can't wait to wake up and see what that day is going to bring to you. See what opportunities are going to come to you. That is what spirituality gives us. It is such a misnomer to think that spirituality is all about what a lot of religions teach you. It's not about having faith in some unknown. It's about loving yourself unconditionally, about being brave enough to go inside and courageous enough to go inside and really look at who you are. Find out why you're here, what it is you're meant to do. And let go of all of those things that really make you accept and long to die. I don't say these things lightly at all. I'm saying that is how I found my hope. Through my spiritual studies, through my spiritual journey, I found hope. And every single day I wake up excited to see what it's going to bring. I have found a purpose in life again. And after the military, after working in the government, if anybody saw those videos, that video I posted about my experience and why I left the government, that was horrible. That was a horrible time. I felt completely lost. I felt hunted by the government. I had lost my identity. I had lost my financial income. I had lost any hope of having a career in a world that I was passionate about and serving my country, something that I literally would die for. I had to find my own way again. And this is the same thing that veterans across the world, not just US veterans, veterans across the world are facing. And first responders and firemen, police officers, medics, we see so much, we give so much. So what happens when they don't want our service anymore? What happens when we're no longer use? We have to remember, we have to find ourselves. We have to find our own purpose and our own use. You're beyond useful. I promise you that. If you start looking and seeking, which really all spiritual people are, is they're just seekers of truth. When you start seeking for your own truth, you've already found it. You've already done the hardest part that you can possibly do.